folks, it's time for another review for Dino Fury, episode 10. What is it called? I didn't check. What was the name of it now? Phoning Home. Let's just continue going. Let's not even do eat the phone home. But anyways, so first things first, we got like the first part where Void Knight is doing something that he did previously, but this time we actually see he gets to have a power source. So he built a new robot, and the new robot is now Slither. I think it's Slither. And, well, it's kind of funny. And it's like, that was some good funny moments with Slither and Mucus, and Slither's able to change form. And he's a bit of a trickster, apparently, or at least he have trickster abilities. And since he got trickster abilities, he's going to try to go in and get all the Sporex that the Rangers have. So, meanwhile with that, we have Zato actually trying to phone home again. He's trying to call home, and we get to see a nice big satellite. We actually get to see Solon doing something nice for him, but sadly it was dog food, and it's like, yeah, it's pretty sad that for dogs they actually gave him antennas, which again I think it can kind of slide, but on the other hand it's like, okay, you have figured out some other way to actually make it so he has a pet at home instead of just putting, oh, the dog needs to have some antennas. It's like, my goodness, that should actually be talked about in, of course, the inquiry, but I'm just gonna say it now so I don't have to remember it later. So meanwhile with that, then we get to go to Buzz Blast, and we have Chance. Yeah, we got Chance actually filming it. You have, oh my goodness, shh. We have Ollie and Izzy who are sitting and watching, and then you have Amelia just nearby. Good Lord. Anyways, we got Amelia nearby, and we have a dog. Yes, but because we figure out what's going on, Jane is basically showing that, oh, well, we would actually show you products about cats, but screw that. They're kind of hard to use. So instead, it's like, yeah, does that mean that Hartford actually made that collar? Yeah, they have a collar that can turn the AI or whatever into a cat. It has to be from Hartford because it's like, it can actually hack into things and then she's just a cat. It's like, no, because it just gives you black ears, and I don't know if they sprout a tail, but it's like, you can see that technically Hartford most likely had to have made it, right? I'm just saying. And of course, you know what happens, you'll figure what happens. The dog chases after Jayborg, like usual, and Jane has to chase after him. Then we actually get the thing that they learned from, not Dino Fury, from Ninja Steel, which is what they should be practicing. So now we get to see them practicing using their blades. And as soon as they did that, you see something, aka Slither. But right now it's Arla, and Arla is posing as a knight of Ravcon. So awesome. It's like, yeah, awesome. We'll see how this plays out. But of course, considering I already saw it, thank goodness on this. Kind of weird that I thought it was Amelia's granddad. I think that's the next episode. Maybe. I don't know. Either way, we'll see what is going on after the commercial break ends. And now we're back. And Arla actually shows up. And it's like, whoa. And they go down into the command center, which, might be a bad idea. Anyways, it's a bad idea. So they go down to the command center, and Solon has a lot of questions, which good for her, actually, showing that she's intelligent and she knows that something's not right here. And want the credentials being thought, and plus it's like, hey, if you came from a ship, how come we didn't hear about it? Oh, it's because it's superior to your technology. It's like, yeah, we have to advance since all those years ago. It's like, that's why you can't get it. It's like, Solon does feel a little bit insulting, and of course we get the plan from Arla, which is, hey, I can destroy the Sporex. We learned how to destroy the Sporex, and now we know, and I have it in my ship, and I could just take them, destroy them, and The only messed up part is like, let me just say the part of the plan is that, are you going to stay here all the whole time? It's like, we already know that this is a fluke, but let's go with the main plan. The main plan is like, if you know how to do it, then shouldn't you have taught them how to do it and bring your technology downstairs so you could just deliver it so they know how to use it instead of this idea of being stupid? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Yeah, so with that said, basically there was an attempt. Instead, just like, oh, well, I'm tired, I'm gonna go. And as soon as she has a moment alone, she shows that she's Slither, taught the Void Knight and said, I need a distraction, so I'm able to actually get the Sporex. And he's like, alright, done. So he just teleports with a bunch of his minions, and he actually just causes a little bit of ruckus, which the Rangers go and fight him. And we actually get to have the good Morphin secrets. They fight. As soon as they fight, it's over. And when they return, Arla actually was in attempt, aka Slither, it was in an attempt to actually get the Sporex, but Solon stopped her. Solon actually got them to teleport out of the command center, and then Slither reveals himself. And that was kind of funny how he's like, yeah, left jab, sweep of the feet. It's like, that's funny. And eventually he actually took down Solon. So Solon is down, injured, hurting. So Arla goes back down and actually throw the communicator onto the table, which that was maybe a dumb move. But even so, about to get the Sporex, and then the Rangers show up, and he's like, oh, well, you guys came. I thought it was a monster attack. It's like, yeah, it is. And it's like, oh. And then after that, oh, okay, good. Then they actually have a good conversation where it's like, oh, she's just wandering the beach area or something. She's still upset. So the other four go and look for her. Meanwhile, Zato is alone with Arla. And of course, well, Zato eventually goes, touches Arla, and lo and behold, he notices that Arla is not what she seems. The fact of, it's like, you would figure Slither should have figured that out. If it's like, oh, we know the ability that a Red Ranger is able to tell things, and apparently they notice things and observe the Rangers, so that's why he's able to tell, things about at least Izzy. So that's interesting where it's like, yeah, they did actually look and see what the Rangers do. Interesting enough, or at least he's able to fake it, but he doesn't remember that, oh yeah, you might be able to tell. So at this point, we have 5 Sporex. Yeah, so 5 Sporex. The Rangers have 5 Sporex, so that means 4 before that, for episode 9. And then we have this confrontation with with Zato and with Slither. Oh yeah, note, it was kind of interesting that Solon did actually mention, hey, this is pretty fast. It's like within a day, you actually were able to come here in lightning speed. It's like, yeah, that's too convenient. And that's good that Solon is written that well. Good job for you on that one. All right. Oh yeah, note, Solon actually tested Arla by saying, here, have some treat that I got from Rafcon Recipes. And it's dog food. And it's like, that's when Slither actually revealed, I'm not as what I seem. But anyways, so back to this. You have the Red Ranger actually do the same thing that Solon did, which is teleport him out of it. And as soon as he teleported out of it, he actually morphs, and Slither actually gave him a score of his pose and all that stuff, gold star. And then he's like, yeah. And he actually summoned a hyper booster key, and it does something. And then after that, he actually gets him to another location. No offense, but it's like, it's like, my goodness, they flip from one location to another location. Like, thinking about it now, it's like, what the frick? But it's like, it was able to slide when it comes to watching it, but saying it here is like, Anyways, they go to another location, and he's like, oh, I called my friends, and the friends showed up, and it's like, oh no, and then he's like, some of my minions, and again, Slither has a funny moment where it's like, noble sacrifice. Yeah, he actually battled a Red Ranger. He was able to kind of take down the Red Ranger. He battles the Green Ranger, he's able to take down the Green Ranger a little bit, and it's like, whoa. And then all of a sudden he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna summon Rustaffa from the last episode. Wait, what? Yeah, so now they have to deal with Rustaffa, and since Solon is not there to launch the Zords, they came up with an alternative, which, good job, writers, which was they have an override, and Zato actually has the override. Use the override, and the password is Zato is cool, which is like funny. And it worked. He summoned the warrior formation of Dino Fury Megazord, and now they're battling Rustaffa. And he used the booster key Slick booster key, and he was able to blind Rustaffa, who flew in the air. Meanwhile, at this time, we also have Jayborg, which there we go. I'm going to let it play while I'm actually talking about this. So we have Jayborg and Jane is looking for Jayborg, and, well, Jayborg is still a cat, and she's like, oh, I don't want you to get stomped by this rooster monster. And here she is trying to get Jayborg, and finally took the collar off Jayborg. Yeah. 1 second. All right, so we ended with the part of where Jayborg has a hairball, which is like, how? It's like, yes, how? I guess simulation, whatever. Also eating trash, and apparently she found a lot of fish and ate fish, and of course the Rangers took him out and took freaking Rustaffa very easily. They just took him out very, very easily after he tried to fly away. And Slither actually falls to his doom, which he gets electrocuted. Jayborg is nearby, which, lucky break. But as soon as all of it came down, he falls down, and Fun Gussie actually finds him, and apparently he lost his memory. He got zapped so hard, his memory is gone. So Fun Gussie actually does the right thing and be like, okay, well, you're my best friend now. And so that's what happens, to where it's like, now they're going to be pals, and Void Knight won't know it. Or maybe he will notice. And then, of course, you have the apology that came from Zato to Solon, because it's like, yeah, my mom will be stern about how I treated you. You had a good point. We should actually be very suspicious of anyone who actually comes. And let's see, I think it was Ollie who was fixing her leg up, because they had to fix her leg. They had to fix her actual breastplate, I guess we can call it that. And butter something tea. It's like, and he tries again and actually summons his family, or at least get contact with his planet, and that's how it ends. So this episode here is nice. We have Slither. Weird that when we come to, where are we? Wave 3. It's like wave 3, no Slither though. It's like, yeah, you were quick to give us Boom Tower, but now it's like, no Slither. You're finally giving us Void Knight, which, lucky for those who actually see it in the TV show, in the stores. But hey, if you're getting it on Amazon, well, hey, apparently Amazon has a good contract deal with them. But even so, it's like, they didn't actually think of making 4 figures. Instead, they were like, oh, well, we'll just, and we still don't have the minions. What the world is this? But anyways, yeah, so it's good to have Slither here. I'll see what happens in the future with Slither. It's going to be kind of actually interesting, and it's an okay episode. It's like, it's an okay episode. I guess, sure, why not? We have Jane and Jayborg, but it's like, I don't think it was really needed, besides the whole little extra detail being like, at Hartford Industries or Hartford Technologies, we actually figured out that we can actually make our android, our AI, actually do whatever kind of animal we want. Or just the fact of somehow it's a cat, which, of course, the best cat lady over there who came up with that idea. Was like, yeah, that's the only thing that came out of it, was just like, I don't think it really was needed to be known. It seems like a little bit of a small gimmick that shouldn't have got any press, but, well, at Buzz Blast, they sure do, even though it's like, yeah, hold on, so how many androids are there out there? So it's like, yeah, it's like, who exactly are you making this video 4. It's like, what? It's like, yeah, so who's making this video for? But I guess technically Hartford Industries or Hartford Technologies might have paid her to actually do this. So it's like, yeah, so here you go. It's like, yeah, I don't know. It could have been. It's like, yeah, so she can get something half off, or maybe get J-Borg half off. But it's like, you gotta do some things for us, and that might be what's going on. But still, it's like, yeah, but who exactly is this even targeted to? Anyways, stay tuned for the inquiry on Wednesday, and stay tuned for the poll of the week that might come on Friday. Yeah.